Welcome to Software Factory Insider Podcast. Today, a very special guest, Benoît. Super happy that you're here. Do you want to start with a quick introduction?
Yeah, thank you, Chris, for having me. So I'm the co-founder and the CTO of Eqolux. It's AI for finance for the hospitality industry. Our users are the CFO, the purchasing directors, and we import all the invoices data from only the PDF, and from this we create a chat for the users to be able to ask anything about their invoices. And thanks to this, they can track some price increase, so a price peak, something like this, or also the origin of all their buying, and also they can better understand who buy what and for what, because they can see exactly all the products bought by their company just with a search bar. And so that's so useful for them to just check. For example, they want to see all the bed purchasing. They just type bed, and then they will see the price for all the beds that they are buying in all their group, just from the invoices. So yeah, so we are just giving super access to the invoices with a simpler way.
That's fascinating. And Benoît, like a very good friend of mine in Silicon Valley told me like many years ago when he saw the no-code stuff and how we were building software with no-code, he was like, you guys are clearly living in the future. It's already here. It's just not evenly distributed. And he felt reminded that when he was in the App Store stuff, like in 2010, nobody knew about apps, but they were building all of those subscription management tools and so on because they had to. And this is not your first act now with AI and invoices and PDF extraction. You have been in software for a long time, but also in no code. Maybe you can share a little bit about the background, because I guess a lot of those things that are normal for us, they must feel like a revolution for others. But I guess for us, it was kind of like step by step.
Yeah. First, I am not a developer, engineer at the beginning. I am more an entrepreneur in the tech industry, more the sales part. And I started building my own software thanks to no code. It was 10 years ago. And the first tool to build a SaaS for me was Bubble. So I was a pure power user of Bubble. And I learned to build software thanks to this. And then I discovered many cybersecurity issues, performance issues, maintainability issues, observability issues. And that's why I co-founded No-Code-Welt and then NC-Scale to build a Datadog for this industry to manage all these issues for the no-code industries. But AI came, and thanks to AI, finally, we stopped using no-code. And now we are building with AI directly code. I think it is very, very early today to build a production application with AI without being a developer, without being an engineer. But you can use many other products, some visual plus AI for the backend. For example, for Eqolux, I am building all my backend with Xano. So it is a visual plus AI product. And that's so powerful for me today because I can manage the cybersecurity with ease. And then for the front part, it is all built with Claude Code. And I am learning step by step how to use Claude Code, how to manage several sessions of Claude Code in parallel, and it is really fascinating, and I am learning every day, and I think I am at the level 1 when I see what other guys are building with AI. So it's very hard to just know what is our level with this. But I think we need to. I think that the most important thing is to start early, just by a little thing, because more and more I am building with Claude Code, more and more I am confident with Claude Code Hook, for example, and I am starting using hooks. And a hook is, to be clear, when you end a session or start a session, you can run some scripts. And for my usage, when I end a session, it's merging automatically with my master branch, and also it will delete the work tree of the session, and it is updating the cloud.md. So I am learning with this, and I just put this in place only 1 week ago, and it is incredible. So and you can create your own environments, own processes, own hooks, just by talking with Claude Code. So that's just so powerful for us.
That's magical. Like it's like like sounds like alien technology, like totally magic. Benoît, like when in the no-code time, like there was basically two camps. Like there was the traditional developer community that said all of this is crap. It's like amateur technology. And then there was the people inside Bubble, especially. That was, I think, is still the best no-code tool for like a fascinating piece of technology, who said, give us all your problems, we will find a solution for it. And of course, the team at Bubble also doing a great job. But when the people came and said, look, those apps done by amateurs, like they're all insecure. You did not say, okay, let's throw away no code. You were like one of the people who said, well, we will have to find a solution how to do the security for them. And I would love if you share a little bit about your thought process of the time. I guess it was 5-6 years ago or something like that, or 4 years ago. I don't remember exactly. But you could have also said, yes, the experts are right. Software is a domain only for software developers, and we are stopping now. Because why I think it's so interesting, the same conversation is today. Like it's exactly the same conversation with the AI. A lot of people say, yeah, this is just crap, it's just amateur stuff, it will never run in production. And I guess your experience from the time, and also this no-code experience, it is never the same like it was, but it would be very interesting to hear your thoughts about it.
Yes, I think it is a way of thinking. If you are a believer that everything will work tomorrow, you will find a way to build this and to make it work. And so that is exactly what I am doing. It was what I did 5 years ago, because when I saw this kind of tools so powerful to build what I wanted without needing a developer, it was incredible. And so I was so frustrated by not having a full control of cybersecurity, and so I just built it, and it was it was really better to keep Bubble and continue with a better way to do the cybersecurity part, because it was just incredible. So with AI, it is exactly the same thing. I can't stop using AI to build my software, but I can just better use it. And thanks to the way that it is coded now, I think it is also easier to secure, because you have so many products to secure codes. and I am using them. And for example, today I just made something different. I just completed my documentation for each table of my database, and I just wrote who can access this table and which fields for each table. And I just ask after Claude Code, can you check if my backend is secured with these rules? And he checked all my Xano backend and told me, okay, it is okay, but you can just do this better here and here, etc. And I was using a visual database builder with Xano to avoid these security issues. And now, even with AI, I can secure even more my visual database builder. So that's incredible. And so I am really more confident today with my cybersecurity thanks to AI. And for the front end part, as your backend is really secured, you have, I think, deleted 99% of cybersecurity issues. So I think it is the easier part to secure. It is the front end. So I am really confident today, but you still need to check the cybersecurity part every time. So it is just a process, and never have a big tech debt. So I think you need to just avoid the tech debt by paying 5% per month, like a debt, but you have 5% of your time dedicated to delete fields that are not used anymore, to delete some functions that you are not using anymore, etc., etc. Because AI needs to have a clear view of your code base. And if you have too many diff code inside your code base, you will add some confusion with AI. So it is mandatory to clean your code base often. And it is exactly what I am doing, because I want to have a better AI. So my code base is clean thanks to this. Because before it was not useful to clean your code base, because nobody was reading your code base every time. But now, as AI is reading all your code base every time, you need to clean it. So it is a good part of it.
I'm wrapping up and I'm cutting. Hey, Benoît, thanks so much. Any last words on your side that you want to encourage people to learn about AI, do the AI? What's your key thing towards the audience that they can, also benefit of this technology?
Yeah, I think it is very hard today to know where we can find information to learn how to build with AI and to develop with AI. So I think the most important thing is to start small. Start with one agent on a small code base. Just learn how you can be more confident with AI, just to know what you can give to AI and what you not have to give to AI, just to be sure that you still understand what is going on. And then as soon as you are building your app, I think you need to think to be 10 times faster, not only to have two agents together. It is not fun. The goal is to have 10 agents working together, and you just give what you want as a new feature, and an agent will understand this feature, will understand your vision, and we check if it is if it is okay with your vision, and will give some advices, and then another agent will implement it. And I am not at this level, but my goal is to be at this level. And I think we can jump from nothing to this level in only 1 week. So you need to start small, I think, to better understand and to have a more confidence about AI. And then only after, try to learn how to build your team of agents, and you will build your company, your product around this this team.
Thank you so much, Benoît, and thanks a lot for taking the time today. And I wish you a wonderful day. And this is going to be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. See you soon. Bye.
All right. So stop
Great.
recording.
Thank